Good afternoon, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Rootemup, or Runabout. I honestly have forgotten which one I got. You can only tell the difference by the color, and, well, you see the problem already, don't you? So, here's him. I have him set up in a pose to shoot, towards you, the viewer. Let's line him up. There you go. Bow. He's got a nice head tilt action going. His head is not on a ball joint, but it is on a nice enough joint so that it can move all around. And because of its transformation, you can actually have it look down, but then that leaves a huge gap behind him. It's kind of goofy. All right. Height-wise, he stands 17 studs tall, and where's my Bumblebee? Here he is. There's Bumblebee. Now, on the front of Rootemup, you have a square that's recessed into the chest piece, and in that square should be a Decepticon symbol, but Bumblebee here actually measures up right to the bottom edge of that square, if you want an understanding of how tall this guy is for comparison to Bumblebee. And, I always compare things to the smallest deluxe possible, and that way, you could just understand the height from then on. I've thought about using other things to compare, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Read him up, kick his ass. Just bam! Yeah. Alright. Let's move on. So, to siege port wise, he's only got 9. That is 2 less than the normal for these Transformers. They've usually had 11. Rarely do they have less than 11. I think even Bumblebee managed to get 11. No, Bumblebee managed to get 7. So he was also in the norm, the abnormal. So to begin off, I'm going to explain to you something that you need to know for this figure. So we'll start with that one more difficult piece. So fold the chest piece all the way open. It hinges down towards the crotch and opens at the head. And then the head, it's on its own unique little transforming device, can then just pop in there. But you see, it does that for the transformation. Now here's where the problem comes in. It's difficult to get this guy out. You can't get his head out with just your fingers. You got to use a tool. But if you look at the front of the gun he comes with, it's like a pick. And you can use that pick from the gun to actually get in there and then drag out his head. There it goes. Look at that. You can use the gun and poke it in right under the head. Use your fingers to feel where the gun point is and the head is, and then little leverage and pulling at the head at the same time you're pushing at the bottom of the head, and it'll just pop open, no problem. I just wanted to share that with you guys because that was a nice little fix that I found. A little hack to this Transformer, if you will. Either that or the designers at Hasbro foresaw that problem, and that's why they made his gun such a wedge-looking thing. Now, put the head back, because we're transforming him. So, after you put the head into the chest, you want to go to the arms, and you want to twist in both of the fists into the hollow forearm sections. Then, you want to raise both of these arms high up into the air like they just don't care. This is only to allow us to have room to do some more transformation stuff. So, you just rotate the arms like that. Just rotate them so that they're both sticking up in the air, and we'll move on to other things. So for the backpack actually unhinges and unfolds. It shows that it's the front of the car. No, sorry, the back of the car, and the back window will just rest it on top of the hands for now. Then you will want to take the legs, and at the hip rotate them 180 degrees. Once you've done that, you then will want to focus back on these hands. Now that you have rotated that, the hands can come back down. We only put the hands all the way up like that to assist in the rotation of the hips. So rotate the arms so that the siege port is facing towards where the head would be, and the forearm is facing down. You can feel the forearm's little armor piece, and it kind of feels like it has something to do with a car. You can feel a bit of a wheel well at the end of it. And yes, indeed, that is a wheel well. So what we're going to be doing with this guy is we're going to set it up so that that wheel well ends up being in the right place. There's a cutout in his torso right above where his hips are. And that cutout is really neat. You can feel it with your finger and feel that it's almost the right size for the forearm. And indeed, the forearm will slip right into that area. It won't really lock down, but it will lock down when the transformation occurs. Other things will lock it down. That forearm just sits right there in that spot. So let's take care of the other arm. Rotate it so that the siege port is facing the sky, and the rotated it wrong. Rotate it the other way now. Yeah, because we've got to get this correct now. So siege port's facing the sky. This rotates down, and then that just slides into place. Pretty and neat. Nice. Now, remember, his the chest will become, that chest where you folded the head in will actually become the underside of the vehicle. So that's a faux chest, meaning that it's a fake car piece made to make the transformation look better. Now that you've gotten those forearms placed in the cubbies that are designed for the forearms, reach into the underside of the trunk of the vehicle, and you'll find that there's 2 wheels folded up in there quite nicely. You want to go ahead and unfold those wheels. Now, when they're unfolded, feel along the wheel well above, and you'll feel that the wheel well goes far down on one side at the back of the trunk, but then seems to just cut off. And that wheel well cutting off right there is what we're trying to connect to the wheel well that we made sure we set up on the forearm. And if you did it right, then everything will just fold into place. I do enjoy that about this guy. Now that that's folded all into place, just leave it not clipped in or anything, just sitting up at an angle, about a 15-degree angle, so that can allow our feet to move around a bit more, because we're working on the legs now. So you may think, I'll fold in the toes first. Nope, you don't need to. We're going to focus on just shrinking the legs. There's a joint in there that you can unpeg the thigh from the lower leg, and it's actually got one of those. When you do that, you can achieve a double knee hinge, but we're not looking for double knee hinge, so you can fold that on its hinge. Feel on the inside as that twists and the hinge twists in its mooring to ensure that the thigh sinks all the way down into the lower leg area, his shins. So you want to do that with the other side. Fold that piece in. Make sure you don't fold it over the window. This is going to go under that window. There we go. Once that's folded into place, it will want to try and connect with the forearms. Go ahead and let it, because we're not really moving much now. Just go around to the other forearm, and before anything really gets snapped into place, or permanentized, as I like to call it, you want to make sure that fits together. Now that that's all done, go ahead and click the legs together. They have their little spots. Oh, there's a gap over there. We'll fix that gap. Okay, and that gap's done, and that gap's kind of fixed. It's a little gappy. The guy's a little gappy, but it's understandable. Once that's done, go ahead and fold the feet into the legs, and what that will do is snap things into place and hold it better, man. Yes. Scrunch down everything. Make sure you fix as many gaps as you can. And, yeah, here you go. You have a nice 4-door, I think. I think it's a 4-door sedan. No, it's not a 4-door sedan, but it's a 2-door coupe, but it looks like it's one of those coupes that has the back seats so that you can fold in one of the seats and then put kids in the back. We'll put the gun on top in the siege port. There's no other place for this gun during the transformation, sad to say. But there you go. There's your Rootemup, Runabout, Runa'bout guy. Here is the measuring chamber. Let's get the measuring pad out and measure him. So he measures from tailgate to from bumper to bumper, 16 studs long. So that's neat. He's now 1 stud shorter. So he's now 8 millimeters shorter than he used to be. We will go with that to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's 8 studs wide, sticking to that 8 stud wide thing, which I find to be hilarious because that's the stud length that most Lego cars are these days. Now, let's go ahead and find us our cliff jumper. Here he is. And he's got his little missile on top of his car. So cliff jumper stretches from back bumper. His front bumper ends up being, let's say, all the way across the front wheel of the car, but doesn't reach the front wheel well of Runa'bout's car, which is okay. Width-wise, can't see the cliff jumper is. He's definitely skinnier. There's basically a tail light on each side that sticks out. He's a little comparison. Just boom. All right. Well, that has been Runabout, Rootemup from Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron. And tune in next time for more. Please comment, subscribe, share. Y'all just go on the internet and post it somewhere. I don't care. But I hope you've enjoyed the show so far. And I'm surprised that Cream hasn't done anything this episode except take down my Skyfire. He's over here sleeping on top of it like a little monster. Alright, well, bye-bye for now. Until next Prime.